Ready? Good morning, everybody. Joe Ciaccio here. We had a call last week about why people kind of hesitate to buy from us. I want to think about it. I can't afford it. We went over some different things that lead up to that there. I'm just going to kind of do a quick recap, but get the full effect. Go to the call we had last Monday. Over the years of doing what we do now, speaking with a lot of different agents, and actually me going out and knocking on doors for 26 years now, what I've come to learn is that people hesitate to buy from a salesperson for numerous reasons, such as we interrupt them, we're not listening to them, we deviate. When they ask a question, we don't know the answer, and we kind of like make up something. And we just don't take our time, and we don't know the products. So when they ask questions, we're not giving them sharp enough answers. That's just a couple things of why people say, I'm not ready to buy today. I got to shop around. So what I want to talk about today is the main reason why, well, not the main reason why people don't buy is on the call last week. Let's talk about today when somebody tells you, I want to think about it. And what happens is that you can go through the entire presentation thinking you've got them on the hook. Yet, throughout the presentation, if you're not stopping and pausing and asking them, do you have any questions? Is this the actual direction you want to go into? Am I answering everything the way you like? Do you have any questions? You must interact with them, because what happens is that when you want to control a conversation and you just want to talk like you're a moderator on a stage, when you're in a home with a client, you got to kind of take things down. You got to make it to where it is just you and them speaking. Sales is challenging. And what happens is that when you're not prepared to go into a home, all of that affects the way you come across with your delivery. Your tone, your voice inflections, the words you choose, how you use the words that you deliver. So most of the time, you're going to hear, I want to think about it, because they're unsure about you. When somebody tells me they want to think about it, I just kind of, okay. Now, depending on the client, depending on my mood, depending if it's one person, two people, I may sit and tell them, I totally understand you want to think about. There's times where I kind of speak too fast. Was there something that I overlooked that is preventing you from making a decision today to pick out one of the plans I've just showed you? Sometimes they may tell you yes. What happened to me one time was that the lady wanted it. She had no problem with it. She said, I want to think about it. And I asked her what I just said. And she told me openly, she says, you didn't tell me how I had to pay for it. So explained to her how the payment worked, bank draft, discount. She says, yes, I'll buy. So with what I just said, you need to make notes of everything everybody tells you when you go back to overcome a rejection or rebuttal, to where you make sure that you hit on that when you're going through your presentation. I need to think about it. Some people may sit and say, well, there's usually two reasons people want to think about it. It's either I did not explain something properly to you, or is it the monthly amount that you need to send in every month? Sometimes that kind of like puts it into one of the two categories. Let's sit and say, they say, well, it's kind of the money. Now, you got to sit and ask yourself, how do I sit and reduce that money amount down? Let's say you showed them one, the minimum price you showed was like $57 and change. Because we always want to try to keep our minimum payments at 50 to where you at least have 600 AP to where you can make a living. When you start selling $25, $30 premiums, you're going to make sales, yet you're not going to make any money. the premium is a little bit high. Number one choice is, where do you want your premiums to be? Or option two is to get the paper back and write down what it'll be for the next one down. So let's say you showed them one for 12, that was 57. Show them one for 11, which is 52. Is this better? No, it's not. Come down to 10, 47. Is that good? No, it's not. 9,000, 39.87. Is that good? Yes, that's the one I'll take. So either you go down one by one, or you ask them, what number do you want to be at? Now, when they sit and say they want to be, let's say they want to be at $40 a month, and your 9,000 comes in at 42.17. Do you show them the 42.17 for the 9,000 when they wanted $40, or do you show them the 8,000 when it comes to the 36.89? Or do you be creative and show them an 8,500? What I do is that they say they want to be at 40, I take the paper back. I do the 9,000 at the 42. I do an 85 at 39, and I'll do an 8 at $36, whatever the numbers will be. People don't want to be cornered or pigeonholed into a certain corner. So what I like to do is give them an option to pick out the one they want. People's budget has a lot to do with what they're going to do. Everything has gone up. Groceries has gone up. Gasoline here has come down a little bit. It's like today it was $2.81 on the way to work. So we got to be conscious when people say, I want to think about it. You may want to sit and say, I want to think about it. Say, well, is it the programs that I'm showing you want to think about? Or is there something else you want to think about? The programs I showed you show the 10,000, 15,000 with the premiums, or is there something else you want to think about? They may say, well, I need to talk to my children. Okay. Number two, add that to your list when you're talking to them about their kids. Ask them, do your kids have money? Do your kids want to pay for this? Can your kids afford this here? You being an adult, having your own house, living in your own place, I don't think you need to consult with your children when it comes to making an actual decision like this, which is going to benefit them. Am I correct? Yeah, Joe, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So every time they tell you they want to think about it, and every excuse that they give you is something you need to learn how you have to incorporate that into your presentation to where hopefully, which they may, hopefully they will not use that as I want to think about it as an excuse. 99% of the time the excuse is you. Now I gotta tell you guys straight. Normally it's you. I'm not gonna say 99%, let's say 75%, because the other 25% could just be them being the way they are. Joe, you know something, I like everything you're showing, and if I'm gonna buy something, I'm gonna buy it from you. Yet today I just need to think about it. It's okay. May I ask you what you want to think about? When you ask a direct question like that, you cannot talk. You must keep your big mouth shut, because what you're doing is that you're putting the porcupine in their hand. And the only way for them to get rid of it is to give you an answer. And by you helping them with the answer and saying something after that question is inadvertently telling them, give me back that porcupine because I want to help you out. You ask the question, you don't say anything, hopefully they'll give you an answer. Normally they're going to sit and say, it's the premium. Then you may sit and say another way is this something that you cannot afford? Or is this something you do not want to afford at this time? Is this something you cannot afford? Or is this something you do not want to afford at this time? Because people's thought process is, I'm in good health now, I can buy it next month, next week. So if somebody says, well, I'm just not ready to do it today, it's your job again, where you did not give them the value or the need or the reason why they should buy something from you today. You didn't hit enough of the hot spot. I call this the 12-inch rules between your heart and your brain. 12 inches. If you don't get to that heart to affect that brain, to make it an emotional decision, because with the emotional decision, usually the financial will come right behind it saying, let's do it because what the agent is telling me is making sense. I don't want my family in this situation. Premiums are going to be $60 a month. Looking at a program that's going to cost you $2 a day. That's going to give you peace of mind that if something happens to you, your family's taken care of. I want to think about it. May I ask you what you want to think about? Well, I don't want to start it this month. I want to start it next month. That's on you again. You didn't find out in advance which one they wanted. Excuse me, when they wanted to start it. Joe, you know, everything sounds great and all that stuff there, but I want to think about it. It's okay. For my own curiosity, what is there that I may have overlooked that you want to think about? Hopefully they may sit and say, well, I spoke to my neighbor who has one that's a little bit less expensive, or has one that's got a whole lot more coverage for the same amount of money. Say, okay. In your presentation, you've got to sit and talk about how it's based on your age, your health, and whether you're a smoker or a non-smoker. If you have a neighbor that's 80 years old, if you have a neighbor that is 60 years old, their premium is going to be a lot less than yours because you're 72. You have to learn a way to start incorporating this into when you're speaking with the people, so when it gets to the end, as I said, hopefully they won't sit and say the excuses they give you. What I've seen over the years, most of the excuses are just money. Yet, it's because we have not given them enough information to where they say, Joe, I'm going to reach in my pocket and give you my money that I work so hard for. Joe, you've not given me enough reason. You've not given me enough thought. You've not given me enough fuzzy feeling to where this is something I should buy from you today. This is why, make another note, you need to go into how long you've been in the business for, how much you enjoy your job, how you enjoy helping people, how you had to deliver a check one time, how a family called you when they passed away, the check was sent to them, and they were so happy what you did. They had a friend of theirs call you because they don't want their family and loved ones to be put in that same situation. All of the things you're hearing today, you need to kind of write them down and figure out a way that comes out of your mouth, a way to talk about all of these things we're talking about now. So when you get to which one of these works best for you, hopefully they're going to sit and say that one there. Okay, guys, I'll let you go. Make it a great day. We love you. Again, another happy early Merry Christmas to everybody. If you need anything, give us a call. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.